What talents, passions, or skills do you believe God is calling you to steward in service?
So I think I'm going to focus on passion. Um, I watched this movie years ago, 2017, Wonder Woman. There's a quote that says, "It's not about what they deserve, but what you believe." So that quote really stays with me because it reminds me of the grace that God gives us, and how Jesus spent time and helped those who would otherwise be considered unworthy or undeserved. Um, and that is a reminder for me when I look at my daily life. We all make decisions every day, how to prioritize our time, what giving we do, including even time with our family, right? Um, so this highest form of giving that Jesus showed us is, to me, challenging for us humans to achieve, because again, we have our just daily regular things that we deal with. But I think it's important to really make an effort, right, to say, just give without measuring worthiness, in my opinion. It is easy to go down the path because we make those decisions, right? Again, finite resources. So I find that like giving blood is one of those type of givings that really is that type of giving that God has shown us. Because when I give blood, I have no idea where my blood is going to. But it really doesn't matter. It's going to someone who is in need. So it helps me practice by doing activities like that, giving blood. And I want to just constantly think about what else can I do to help others, but without any type of, criteria of worthiness.
What talents, passions, or skills do you believe God is calling you to steward in service?
I believe God has blessed me with talents and skills that led me to a profession in engineering. Outside of that profession, I like to use those skills and talents for the betterment of our community. That's why I support the Habitat for Humanity program in Greenville County. For the past 10 years, I have been the Aldersgate Volunteer Coordinator. So it's been an honor for me to be involved with that program. Every year, Aldersgate has supported the Habitat program with a team of volunteers that work on a house and also financial support. I am truly blessed that we have a church that supports our mission program with their time, talents, and gifts.
How can serving others be a way of caring for what God has entrusted to you?
When I think about what God entrusted to us, I think about when we were joining the church and we took a vow. And so that's what God wants us to do, provide our talents and our service and to help others. It goes all the way back to when you first start. I didn't know what service was. When I joined Aldersgate, I came to church, I sat in Sunday school, I eventually played church basketball, but I did not do anything beyond that. I was a taker. But as I grew spiritually and I observed what other people were doing and other mentors I had, I got involved with things like not just playing basketball, but coaching basketball, not just going to Sunday school, but teaching Sunday school. One of the biggest challenges I had was when Jean Marie and I were caretakers of the baby nursery during service, and that involved changing a fair number of diapers. That may have been one of the biggest challenges of service I've had in my almost 49 years here. The other one was teaching fifth graders about the first books of the Bible. That was another big challenge. But I think the service to others kind of follows what John Wesley told us about being connected, about developing a relationship with people. You can't develop relationships with people if you just sit in the pew and wave at them on Sunday. So there's a lot of ways to look where you can serve. This church has been wonderful to me and to my family. And as time goes by, you want to give that back. So that's what's important about doing what God has given me the gift to do.
How can serving others be a way of caring for what God has entrusted to you?
One of the most powerful ways that we can care for what God has entrusted to us is by serving others. When He created the heavens and the earth, He created everything from the birds of the air to our family and our friends. Everything that we have, our time, our talents, and love, come directly from Him. When we serve, whether it be something small like donating a bag of bird seed for our feeders here at church, our time to help children with Messy Church, or even donating resources like for United Ministries or our community schools, we are not only helping others, but we are putting His blessings into service and action. Each act of service reflects God's love and His compassion. God calls each of us to be faithful stewards and be in service to each other. This is how we show God's grace. When you serve others, it's not just a good deed, but it's a fulfillment of God's ultimate purpose. 1 Peter 4:10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace.
What helps you recognize that your service, big or small, matters to God?
Well, you can recognize that your service matters by the feelings that you have inside. When you serve others, you're following Christ's example. When you're donating your time, your efforts or monetary things, you get that feeling of rightness inside. You can have a sense of contentment, a sense of peace that you can feel inside. That may be completely different than your feelings inside when you're focused more so on yourself or work or the other stresses of life. So when you're serving others, you can just feel that you know that you're doing the right thing because of those internal feelings of rightness and peace.